Please note that the following content is not meant for children under 13. Hey everybody, it's SaskiaSketches and today I'm going to be drawing your OCs. For a while now I've had the hashtag SketchMyOCSaskia over on Instagram, and people submitted their own characters so that I could draw them in a YouTube video. If you'd like, you can still use the hashtag and then I might draw your character in one of my future videos. But before we get into how I drew them, I first wanted to show off all the characters that have been submitted in no particular order. So here they all are. I do really like the variety that we got, though I do find we have a lot of angsty boys. So I started off with sketching everything out in a ballpoint pen, naturally, because that's what I do. But yeah, so I sketched everything out, tried to figure out a pose for everything, and also if the lighting looks bad, by the way, that's because I have this ginormous sketchbook. I didn't realise that it was going to be so big when I ordered it, but here we are, and it doesn't really fit in the frame properly, which is why the light reflects off of the paper instead of the desk, and that's what makes it look so crappy. So I'll hopefully fix that in the future, but I guess we'll have to see. Just this video is gonna look it's not gonna be so pretty, so please bear with me. Also, credit where credit is due. I got this idea from a friend of mine. Her name is WEBLIGHT Dreams, and I'll leave a link to her channel in the description down below. But she's done a few of these videos as well, and I've really enjoy watching her sketch other people's OC. So that's where I got the idea of sketching everybody's characters out, and I just thought it was a super fun idea, and I wanted to give it a go as well. I asked her for permission, and she was totally cool with it. So there we are. Anyway, the first character that I'm working on is called Eric, and he's the OC of my friend WEBLIGHT Art, or WEBLIGHT Cos, wherever you know her from. And I wanted to draw him with his hands across his face, or like his arms covering his face, because that's what she had in her drawing, and I wanted to do something similar. This next character that I'm working on is called Arabella Clark, and she was made by Scarlet Soul over on Instagram. For some of these characters I don't have a lot of information, but for others I do have a backstory and stuff, so I'll explain that as we go. Apparently this character goes by the name Clark, and she's from the Victorian era, so the 19th century of London. She works as a secretary for a vigilante to stop crime, and she's adventurous, polite, but she also has a moral compass. So most of her fashion is fairly traditional Victorian stuff, and her hair is always up. And the brooch is important as it is a symbol of her late husband. This is going by so quickly. Okay, the next one I'm drawing is submitted by Type 40 Artist, and his name is Cormac. And he's still figuring out his characteristics, but as far as he knows, he's antisocial, untrusting type of personality. He often only speaks when needed and finds more benefit from quietly listening. His eyes speak louder than his mouth, which is cool because they're so... Those eyes are really piercing. I've really enjoyed drawing that as well. What else? He doesn't like to rely on others, and that's kind of his character flaw. He enjoys solitude with the exception of animals. Hey, he sounds like me. He finds animals much more trustworthy than humans. Yup. And this next one is called Jimmy, and he's an alcoholic father. Apparently he was a famous painter, but his wife left him and his 3 children, which sounds super sad. I feel so sorry for this dude. And this next one is called Nick, and I believe he's a Fullmetal Alchemist OC. He's a bit melancholic, and he doesn't show many expressions aside from anger, sadness, and fear or anxiety. His arm and leg are automale. He comes off as kind of rude and unapproachable at first, but once you get to know him, you'll just find that he's actually just kind of awkward, and he's not very good at talking to people. What I find most interesting about this character is his heterochromia. I mean, I know it's a cliche, but I find it so cool when characters have 2 different coloured eyes. And this last character I think might be the most unique looking of all, and I am so sad that I don't have any information on them, because these were made by Invoke Art Sense, and she said that she usually doesn't do stories and that her characters don't have names and that she doesn't really have any information on them. So I thought it was very sad because I wanted to know what the story was and what the world was and everything, but I guess not everybody puts as much thought into all their characters as I do, which is okay too. I mean, if you want to do it this way, if that works for you, then by all means, go for it. I really did enjoy drawing this mermaid and her little pony hippocampus thingy as well. Unicorn mermaid thing. I really like it though, because I always find it a lot of fun to draw characters that aren't affected by gravity as much, because that means their hair can flow about, and like that ribbon at her shoulder is just going nuts. I always find that so much fun to draw something and be able to give it such a dynamic flair and such a cool pose. And after that I went over with my watercolors, and I was a little bit afraid that I wouldn't be able to get a cohesive color scheme because of everything that you know, all the characters have different colors, and to pull those together it's going to be quite challenging, I thought. So I opted to just add in all the colours that I thought would look nice, and change the colours that I thought might interfere with the colour scheme. So I had a blue, I had a green, and I had a purple for the most part. And after that I also added in a more pinkish purple, because that colour was quite prominent in the colour scheme of the mermaid, and I didn't think it would be nice to change the tail, so that's what I did with that. In the end I just went over with a tone layer to pull everything together anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. Anyway, I thought it was so much fun to draw everybody's OCs. I thought it was a lot of fun sketching them all out and putting them all together in a big poster, even though you'd never expect all these characters to live in the same world. I really did enjoy putting them all together, and what I found super cool is that I think I've officially cured my same face syndrome. Looking at all these characters, I think all their faces are very different, and I think it was so much fun to finally break through that, because I've been trying to break through it for a while and been quite successful at it, I find, or I think so, at least for the last few months, I guess. And yeah, I'm really proud of myself for that. I really enjoy drawing so many different faces, and I really liked especially drawing Jimmy's face. I thought that was a lot of fun to draw all those wrinkles and everything, and to make him look a little bit older or a little bit more tired. And I also loved like the skin colour of Type 40 artist character. I thought it was so much fun to draw a different kind of skin colour, because they were almost all of them were white, so yeah, I did really enjoy all of this. So thank you all so much for submitting your characters. I thought it was absolutely fun to draw all of them, and if you still would like me to draw your character, just use the hashtag SketchMyOCSaskia over on Instagram. I don't know whether I'll end up drawing them in a YouTube video or if I draw them just over on Instagram. It just depends on how many more people submit their characters, because I don't want to make everybody wait for a long time anyway, so I guess we'll see. I'll try my best to check the hashtag frequently and sketch the characters that are submitted anyway, whether I do it for a YouTube video or not. So the finishing touches were that I went over with that blue tone layer to make everything look like it was underwater. I thought that it was quite fitting with the mermaid theme. And then I went over with a brush pen and I outlined all the characters to give them all a bit more definition, and I thought that was really quite helpful, especially for the text, because I felt like the text got a little bit lost in all of this. But before we end the video, I really wanted to talk to you about this amazing piece of fan art that I got from Ford on the We the Creators Discord, which is a open group Discord that Hattie the Creator made, and man, I love how this turned out. I'm hosting a challenge on it, and I'll that video will probably be out soon, or might even be out depending on when this video goes up. But I really enjoy how it looks, and even though the design is a little bit different than how I usually draw him, I really think that it still looks like him, it still resembles him, and I absolutely adore how he came out. Thank you so much, Ford. I think that's how you pronounce it. Thank you so much for submitting this fan art. I really enjoyed it. I also wanted to talk to you real quick about my Fiverr account, because I recently made a couple gigs on Fiverr but nobody has bought any. So if you want to grab a quick sketch from me, you can head over to Fiverr and purchase one of the orders. I also offer more detailed pieces and everything. I won't be sending them out. If you want me to send your piece out, you can commission me over on Instagram, but that's where I would do most of the larger commissions. But the smaller things like sketches and stuff, I'll just send you a nice quality, high quality photograph. And I really hope you consider buying my gigs, even though it's a shameless plug, but anyway. I really hope you consider, because I would love to draw something for you like this. I really enjoyed making this, and which has also been a inspiration for these Fiverr gigs, so please consider. I'll have a link in the description where you can check it out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more art videos every single Friday. Have a great weekend guys, and keep on sketching. Bye!